Hey, we're here outside Westminster Abbey where a group called DPAC are here to protest against the cuts against the Independent Living Fund. Let's see what people have to say about it.
So you suspect anybody comes over the fence necessarily will damage the...
The damage could happen to the grounds. Yeah.
Just seems so incredibly specious.
We're here today to save the Independent Living Fund. 17,500 severely disabled people depend on the Independent Living Fund to enable them to live a normal, active life in the community, and this government is planning to scrap it.
We have no choice other than to do this in the shadow of Parliament and to make what voice we can to the government to actually stop what they're going to stop the ILF completely next year. And this cannot go on. So we are prepared to stay here. We've been talking to the Dean of the Cathedral. We submitted a letter to him which covers our arguments, both political and moral. We raised biblical arguments with him, and he said that what we were doing was unacceptable and he would have us forcibly removed and the occupation would not go on. And I've just seen a poor disabled woman being hurt by the police.
What were they doing to her?
They were pushing her against a tree and trying to remove her, and she was screaming.
I'd rather be like you lot, with a job, fit for work, living a normal life, but I don't have any choice. And now they're going to take away the one person that helps me have a bath, helps me get dressed, helps me cook my food, and do all the other things that you could do by yourself. They're taking that away from us.
Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! You lot need to calm down. What the hell are you doing? It's disabled people protesting.
These people are not meant to be in here, but we're going to get rid of them in time. But we've been told for the time being no one to come over.
People have got, no other option but to take direct action to expose what's going on, and that's what's happening here today. It's a peaceful demonstration, and I wholeheartedly support it because people are desperate.
What is going to happen going forward? Are you going to speak with the Dean?
We're trying to speak to the Dean to see if he'll meet a delegation of people with disabilities who are demonstrating today and allow them to continue with their demonstration.
If you speak to him, what will you tell him?
I'll ask him to allow the people to continue with their demonstration until they take the decision not to, until they say that's an end. Because this is having an effect of gaining publicity around an issue which is important to them and to all their families and anyone with any goodwill in this country.
The government specifically picked upon disabled people simply because they thought, well, they're disabled, they won't, they won't fight back. Well, they couldn't have been more wrong. After all, people living with disabilities and having to struggle in their daily lives and everything, they've got to struggle with pain, with trying to live a normal life anyway, with everything else. So they've got so much tenacity and stubbornness and sheer guts. They have picked upon the wrong people. That is why we are here today.
Okay, so we've been here for a few hours now, and slowly more police have been gathering around the protest. And it appears at the moment that they seem to be trying to block the signs in the hope that maybe people will walk past and not notice it, which is naive, to say the least. And how long do you intend to stay here?
We will stay here as long as we can remain peacefully. Well, at the moment the demonstration is peaceful, but the police are putting us under increasing pressure to leave. We don't know on whose authority they're doing that.
Back in 2010, Cameron, when he was trying to get elected, said that the test of a good society is how it treats its weak, its old, its elderly, its vulnerable. Well, 4 years later, the evidence is in and it's damning.
There's been more or less no news coverage of this issue at all, even the court case at all, and the government have completely ignored it. Is that what sparked this action today?
This is what has sparked it. The media have blanked it. The media blanked the 50,000 march last Saturday. They blanked that as well. They're probably here today because we're on government property, and we brought it to Parliament rather than Parliament didn't bring it to us or negotiate with us. So we have come to Parliament to put our point across. And like Cameron and whoever else is listening, that we are here and we're not going away.